This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Stacy Jensen. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Happy Monday. Thanks for joining us here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. This is News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Stacy Jensen. It's Monday, June 27th.
Well, a couple who were out celebrating their anniversary, according to a neighbor, came home to find their home destroyed by fire and their beloved pet lost to the blaze.
We were dispatched for a report of a structure fire. Initial reports were from numerous reporting parties indicating there were explosions of propane, heavy fire conditions, and clearly while we were responding we could see a smoke plume developing or a smoke column developing in the area of the reported address. As crews arrived on location, they had a view of the exterior of the rear, which we call the C side of the property, and found that it was fully involved. It went from side to side, top to bottom. The roof was intact, but the remainder of the structure was just fully involved. As they came onto the street then, they found that there was no life safety issues. They were able to meet with the occupants quickly. They did observe the heavy fire conditions. This fire occurred in an area without hydrants. Therefore, we brought the water with us and the tenders, and crews commenced what we call defensive exterior attack, which means they couldn't enter the building. It was too unsafe. Start off a little bit of a distance, cool the fire down, work in towards it, and they had that fire under control in less than a half hour. Heavy fire conditions, a lot of material stored, and it was challenging from the standpoint of both weather, and it was somewhat wind driven, but crews did a great job. Again, no injuries. The fire is thought to be accidental in nature, and they made good progress in a timely fashion. Unfortunately, there's a report that a dog was lost in the fire. They were unable to get that dog out. We're looking at a couple of different things, but we believe the area of origin is on a rear porch near a set of stairs, and all the physical evidence suggests that, as well as the original observations from the reporting parties.
And a man working on his tractor Saturday morning turned the key to start the engine and didn't realize the vehicle was in gear. He was run over by the piece of equipment. Fire Chief Scott Lewis explains.
Yeah, we were dispatched for a person who was run over by a tractor. It was unknown what size tractor or what type of tractor it was, but upon our arrival we found physical evidence that it was a large farm tractor with an attached implement, and that the operator of the tractor accidentally was trapped underneath a rear wheel of that particular vehicle, sustained significant injuries. We added Mercy Air to the assignment, and we transported that patient to Base 21, where patient care was transferred, and that patient was subsequently flown to trauma. There was indicators that there was either some repairs or they were evaluating a potential problem with the tractor, and accidentally became engaged and ran over the occupant. It's our understanding there was nobody in the operator's position, but the truck became operational, or the tractor became operational.
And Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue were just down the street at that vehicle versus pedestrian crash Saturday morning when a call of a house on fire came through just down the street.
We were dispatched for a report of a structure fire at Gamebird and Blagg. As we were responding, we had a smoke column developing in that area. As we arrived on location, we found the driveway surrounding the property was occupied by many vehicles, so there was an initial access issue for the fire apparatus to gain access to this particular property. But we found that there was a fire in almost like a carport area at the rear of the property, and that fire had extended to wood piles and other stored material, personal property. We quickly got a knockdown on that. There was a closely located propane tank that was an immediate exposure, which was of great concern. Cooled that tank down without incident. There were no injuries in this fire. It was accidental in nature. Most likely it was caused by a grinding effort that was done in the area earlier, and probably a piece of that metal just went off.
Video surveillance captured a fire that was intentionally set inside a dump truck over the weekend. The high-risk fire threatened another vehicle and the home on the property.
Late Friday evening, we were dispatched for a report of a vehicle fire in the Burson Ranch development, specifically in Marathon. As crews arrived on location, they found a well-involved dump truck, and the engine compartment and the cab of that truck were well involved in fire. There was an immediate exposure of a passenger vehicle, and it was in relatively close proximity to the primary dwelling. Crews commenced a defensive exterior attack, got a quick knockdown on the fire with no further extension, and all the exposures were protected. During the initial investigation by Pahrump Fire Rescue, we found there was physical evidence that suggested an intentional act. We then requested assistance from the Deputy State Fire Marshal's Office as well as NCSO, and collaboratively an investigation was conducted overnight, and we're continuing that effort. There's no propane in the vehicle. There was just some ordinary combustible materials in the dump portion of the truck, but we're investigating again, most likely an intentional act. Contact the Sheriff's Dispatch, let them know they have some further information for us to consider with regard to that fire.
And another vehicle fire, the Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue are investigating a vehicle fire that occurred on Murphy Street this afternoon. That fire has been determined to have been intentionally set. No injuries have been reported at this time. The minivan was completely destroyed by flames. If you have any information, you can call the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000 and you can remain anonymous. News 25 will return on the other side of this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Lisa Spahitz and Mike Plasmeyer at Country Financial Insurance. Auto, home, life, and commercial. 775-727-8920.
Welcome back. A Nevada Supreme Court ruling has set the new precedent for how the state can manage groundwater in areas with severe drought. The court made a 4-3 ruling to settle a water dispute in Diamond Valley. The groundwater management plans in this Eureka County farm area that had been approved by local farmers and that the state water engineer can override the priority doctrine. This gave premium rights to senior water users who've owned their land the longest. Nevada's top water official has designated the area as critical severe drought, and years of water overuse have left the Diamond Valley's agricultural groundwater supply depleted, and it is now unable to recharge naturally. This is the only area in the state carrying such a designation. The goal of the groundwater management plan is to change the area's critical status. The High Court said that the state engineer can take action in ways that deviate from the priority doctrine. It's called the Management Plan Approved in Diamond Valley, a community-based solution to long-term water shortages in the valley.
Well, political signs get damaged, lost, and sometimes even vandalized. Nye County Sheriff candidate Joe McGill is offering a reward for the intentional destruction of his signs. The person is apparently using scissors to cut out McGill's photo from the 4x8 billboards. He says 10 of them have been destroyed so far at the price of $100 each.
Somebody has taken it upon themselves to, I guess, take my picture. I don't think it's a fan. I think that it's a somebody who doesn't like me for whatever reason, and they've decided to take it upon themselves to damage my campaign signs in the last couple of weeks. On many of them, mostly they're just cutting out the photo. They're doing some other malicious damage, cutting to it a couple of times. There was one sign over at Blagg and Simpkins that the entire 4x8 banner was cut out, leaving just the outer edge where it's screwed onto the steel. But for the most part, so far, it's been just a photo. Somebody's got to be seeing it whether they realize it or not, because I can tell you the sign at 160 and Simpkins today was fine at about 1:30 this afternoon when I drove by it and looked at it. And at about 3:30, I got a message that it had been destroyed this way with the picture cut out. So that one for sure was done in broad daylight today. There have been 5 separate freestanding signs that have been damaged. On each of these freestanding signs, there are actually 2 banners. So 10 banners have been destroyed. This is absolutely a crime. It is a misdemeanor offense. I have filed reports on each one of the individual signs that have been damaged, and the sheriff's office has taken reports each time. If anybody has any information that leads to identifying the person who's responsible for doing this, feel free to contact me on my campaign page, my Facebook page. You can call me on my phone number, 775-505-3158. Of course, you can contact the Sheriff's Department, 751-7000, or you can contact them and remain anonymous. But the point is yes, this is a crime. It is a problem. And I am offering a reward for anyone responsible. If it leads to the prosecution of this individual, I am offering a reward. I do not believe that this is by another one of my opponents. I have no reason to think that. I want to make that clear.
And in another accident, traffic was diverted around a crash in Pahrump's main intersection Friday night.
Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating the cause of a two-vehicle crash that occurred on Friday night on Highway 160 and 372. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and auxiliary units arrived on scene along with Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue. One person was transported by ground ambulance to Desert View Hospital. Both vehicles were quickly removed from the intersection and pulled to the side of the road to continue the investigation. Both vehicles sustained moderate damage. And a local woman is arrested for hitting someone upside the head with a frying pan when she allegedly could not locate her drugs. Tiffany Keller has been arrested by the Nye County Sheriff's Office for domestic battery in the first degree. According to the report by the Nye County Sheriff's Office, they were dispatched to Grand Lodge Street here in Pahrump in reference to a domestic disturbance. The reporting party stated that Miss Tiffany Keller struck her in the head with a frying pan. She said that she was sleeping in her room when Keller walked in after a shower looking for heroin. Keller, she said, blamed her for taking her heroin and yelled at her. At that time, she left the room and returned with a frying pan. She said then she was struck on the left side of her head with that pan. Police say that they went into the home to make contact with Keller. They say that they saw a frying pan that was on the floor next to the door that had been dented. Keller, they say, was hiding. They located her in an outside closet at the back of the residence. Police say that she locked herself in and attempted to prevent them from opening the door by holding the deadbolt in the locked position. They were able to open the door on the closet and said that Miss Keller denied striking the female and claimed that she was in fact struck with the pan on the right side of her arm. Officers on scene say that they witnessed a very small bump on the left side of the patient's head and that Miss Keller had no marks on her arm. Tiffany Keller was then arrested and transported to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center.
And a recent study from Cleveland Clinic shows that melanoma, which is the most serious type of skin cancer, isn't just caused by environmental factors. Researchers discovered genetics can also play a role.
What we found was that 1 in 6 people who have melanoma and other cancers running in their family have a hereditary predisposition to melanoma and other cancers.
Dr. Pauline Funchain is the lead author on a study which included 400 patients with melanoma and who have family history of multiple cancers. Based on the results, she encourages those with melanoma to get genetic testing done. And if you are unfamiliar, genetic testing examines your DNA and determines whether you could be at risk for certain cancers. And that information can in turn help doctors develop a prevention plan. Dr. Funchain says in a situation where a person does not have melanoma, but their family member does, she advises that the family member who actually has melanoma get genetic testing done first.
So if that person is a carrier, then we know what gene to look for, and then other family members can all look to see if they also carry that gene. If they don't currently have melanoma, but let's say a family member unfortunately has passed from melanoma, there are testing options in that case when you aren't able to test the person who has a cancer.
And Dr. Funchain says their research is far from over. They plan to look further into genetic factors that can cause melanoma. We'll be back with more News Local 25 right after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. Also brought to you by Silver State Health. Visit silverstatehealth.org or call 702-471-0420 for an appointment. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, the National Park Foundation's 2021 Share the Experience photo contest has been posted. The Share the Experience photo contest invites amateur photographers to submit their favorite views, moments, memories, and adventures from national parks and public lands across the United States, with safety top of mind. Marissa Toma took the winning photograph of Death Valley National Park, which was honored in the fan favorite category. Toma said about her photo that she hopes it inspires other females to be confident enough to take solo adventures, that she was intimidated at first by planning and taking a solo trip to such a large and desolate place. But she thinks traveling alone allows you the opportunity to get to know yourself better and be free to meet other people along the way. Toma's photograph was among the winners selected from 10,893 entries. All winning photos can be viewed at sharetheexperience.org/spotlight. The 2022 contest is now open through December 31st. You can visit the sharetheexperience.org website to learn more about that contest. You can also follow the National Park Foundation on Instagram for photo inspiration.
And Darby O'Donnell Westerman is wrapping up her final days at Desert Haven Animal Society, since the county will be taking over the shelter on July 1st. Today, she's introducing us to a cat named Josh.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Josh. Josh is an adorable 8-month-old kitten. He has a lot of energy, as kittens do. He is an orange tabby, and he has these beautiful, very big green eyes that he likes to go and stare at you with. He has a lot of energy because he is still a kitten. So if you're wanting still a cat that is a little bit in the kitten phase, wants to play with you, bat at you, give you love, he's probably going to run around your house at 2 in the morning. Yeah, he is. If you want to come and see Josh or any of his friends here in the cat room at Desert Haven, please give them a call ahead of time, 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Some clouds in the sky today.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of humidity. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
still hot. It's got hot, hot, and more hot.
You think it's going to keep us trucked in and cook us?
Probably. John's going to have a full weather update in just a moment.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studio. It's great to see you on a Monday. Nice to see you back after the weekend. Hey, we all made it back safe and sound. Let's launch into this week, shall we? Take a look at this weather map. Burnley, Fallon, 9,900 degrees. Carson City, 96 degrees. That seems pretty good for the triple towns we like to highlight up top of the state. But look at Tonopah. That's our cool spot in the state today. 92 degrees. That's the cool spot? Yes. Goldfield close behind at 93. Out in Beatty, 103. 104 in Amarillo, so that's the hot spot. Las Vegas, close behind at 102, but out in Death Valley, it's still Death Valley-ish, 115 degrees. Here in the Paradise Pahrump, we're looking at 101 degrees. That's our current temperature. It was just 102 a little bit earlier in the day, and that was our high spot. Southwesterly winds to 9 miles per hour. Felt pretty good at triple digits. Oh, yes. I cherish the wind in triple digits until it gets like really crazy. But sun rose this morning at 5:28 a.m. Setting this evening about 8:05. And we'll look for a beautiful sunset and beautiful star watching tonight under clear skies as we head to our low of 80 degrees. And as we head on into the rest of the week, what do we see? Sunshine, relentless sunshine. Look at all this sunshine. 7 days of sunshine, winds under 15 miles per hour. That's pretty pleasant. Looks like our temperatures are degrading about 10 degrees gradually over the week. We'll see triple digits Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, back into the 90s, mid-90s by Monday at 95. That'll seem pretty darn pleasant, and we'll look forward to it. All right, back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
All right, thanks so much. Well, we are getting a report of a recreational vehicle that is on fire. We don't know the exact street, but we hear that this is near Blosser Ranch Road. We are still trying to ascertain the exact location of that and if there is any extensions. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue is, of course, on scene with Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, and auxiliary units are blocking the area and the access to that fire at this time. We have a couple things coming up.
We do have a couple of things coming. First of all, download the app. If you haven't already got it.
Yeah, let's talk about that LBTV. This is an app that you can download to watch our television, all of our channels, and even listen to Ace Country Radio from your phone, from your computer, your tablets. And we know that there is a problem happening in Las Vegas right now. We did have a weather-related outage, and the station will not be up in Las Vegas until Tuesday or Wednesday. So we're encouraging people to go and download LBTV. You can find it online. You can download the app on your phone. You can download it on your computer if you have a smart TV, and you can watch us live there. Of course, we have our news on Facebook and YouTube. We do want to let people know that download the app in time for the 4th of July Independence Day, because you can listen to the radio and the whole show on your phone while you're on the grass.
Yeah,
exactly. It's fantastic. That's all the accompanying music. We have another event, Celebrate America's Birthday. This is an event that is helping veterans and all veteran-related entities here in town.
And it's happening Saturday, July 2nd. That's 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. happening over at Pahrump Valley Winery. That's going to be at 3810 Winery Road, Nye County Valor Quilters, GIUSA, Pahrump Springs DAR, and DAV chapter. That's the Disabled American Veterans Chapter 15. I can say that better.
Exactly.
And then, of course, there's going to be wine and beer for sale. Please, no outside food or drinks allowed. But again, there's going to be a barbecue. It's going to be lots of fun. Hamburgers, hot dogs, all sorts of good stuff for sale. So come on out, enjoy music and some great food. Celebrate America's birthday.
And don't forget that they are having the parade, the Independence Day Parade in the Calvada Eye, as well as our Independence Day fireworks, which are at Petrick Park. Independence Day Parade starts at 10 a.m. in the Calvada Eye. If you would like to join and be part of that, you can give Linda Wright a phone call, and her phone number is 775-419-7857 if you would like to join. They are looking for more participants for that parade right now, and of course, you're going to come on down and have a good time. The fireworks start at 9 p.m. at Petrick Park. We are doing the accompanying music on Ace Country Radio.
All right.
Well, that's going to do it.
That does it for us. I'm Stacy Jensen.
I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
Good night.
Good night.